being a designer in the First Exposure Playtest Hall, I appreciated all the feedback that we got. It was a great experience. I highly recommend that if you are thinking about designing a game, no matter where you are in the design process, if you have an opportunity to go to an Unpub event or a Gen Con going in the First Exposure Playtest Hall, it's worth it. It's worth the cost to go there. You'll get so much great feedback. If you're further along and you can do a blind test where they just read the rule book and learn the games, you'll learn so much about that. So it really gives you an opportunity to meet total strangers, but not just strangers that you go to a bar and like, hey, will you check this out? You know that you're getting gamers because they made the pilgrimage to Indianapolis. They're here to play games, and they're coming to play in the First Exposure Playtest Hall. They know they're playing prototypes. They want to play prototypes, so you're going to get a lot of great information. And depending on how you fill out your form when you sign up for it, you can get a high level of experience. You can get the newbie people that are playing board games, or you can get the experts that are going to try to break your game. So you can really learn a whole lot about it. So it's really something that you should look into as a designer. While we were at Gen Con, we had the opportunity to talk to some of the other designers in the First Exposure Playtest Hall. And John from Quill Games took the time to talk with Lee and give it a little bit of an interview. Here it is.
Hey everyone, we're here today outside the First Exposure Playtest Hall. We have John Hague from Quill Games. You know, we like to playtest games, and then while we're done, or before and after, we like to meet some of the creators and just kind of go through their game and then their process too. So we got the last summit from Quill Games, and this is John Hague, the creator. So tell us a little bit about it.
Cool. It is a diplomacy and puzzle game for 4 to 8 players. The main thing about this game is you can win as a group or win by yourself. And whether or not you do that is entirely up to you. There's no traitor card except the one in your heart. The point of the game is most people try to play the game to win as a group, and everyone eventually gets tempted. And that's what I'm gunning for with this thing.
It already sounds fun to me because, you know, we play these games. I love hidden identity games because, like, oh, please let me be the bad guy. Let me be the bad guy. And then, like, Kenny and I will play, and I'm like, you're the bad guy, aren't you? I know you are, just say it. So this sounds fun. So you said it's you decide?
Yeah,
Right.
The idea is that there's kind of a status on the board, and you can take advantage of that to win for yourself if you want to. Mm-hmm. So it's about seeing if there's a moment for you to take advantage, and are you going to do that? Are you going to betray the whole group and go for it or not?
Yeah, I imagine a lot of people will just sit around and be like, is this the time that do I make my move now? And then everyone makes their move. Is that possible? Everyone becomes a traitor?
Absolutely. It can turn into a fully competitive game.
Okay.
And one of the most fun things about it is when strangers play this, it usually ends up with the group win. When friends play this, because there is existing rivalry, it becomes competitive from the first round.
Okay. Well, I like the choice there.
Yep.
So that sounds good. Okay, so tell us a little bit about, what inspired you, how'd you get into this, what happened?
And I don't want to name names because I always have to be careful with this story. I went all in on a Kickstarter of a game I thought was amazing. The art was great. It was really cool. And I got it, and it was a roll and move game that was really, really shallow. And me and my friends came over and we started really working on house rules to try to make it better. In fact, the creator even asked, like, hey, I'm thinking about doing an expansion. What rules would you guys do? So I start writing up all these rule sets. It was a Google Doc, and it ended up being 16 pages.
Oh.
I went that deep, and eventually I was like, okay, I'm having more fun just trying to redesign this game than I am playing some board games.
Okay.
Maybe I should start messing around with that. So after that, I started designing my own games. And I think I've done 3 or 4 now, and this is the first one I think that actually has legs and is pretty solid.
I like that. I like that story because it's like, you play games, you're passionate about it. Sometimes I'll play a game and I'll be like, all right, wasn't for me. But then sometimes you see that little thing that you're like, man, this game is for me. It's just not for me right now. I know how I'll fix it. And then you just ran with it. I like that.
And we had a grand old time playing it through and messing with different ideas for it. Basically it became, the game we played that night was game design. And that was what got me hooked.
All right, so as far as First Exposure Playtest Hall, this isn't your first one. You've done it before. Is this is it same game that you've done it before? Different games?
Same game, but very different usage of doing First Exposure. I love this place. This is some of the best playtesting that you can get in for a game. I brought the game last year just because I wanted to get playtesters in and see what this was like, and to meet other designers and just get out into the wonder of Gen Con. This year I'm using it specifically because the last summit plays from 4 to 8 people, and with my friend group and with some of the local gaming groups, I can find a group of 4 to 5 to play, but 8 people is really, really tough. But these guys will find me 8 people who are excited to play test and will jump down, and I can get really good feedback really quickly. Same thing, I'm doing a blind test now where I'm not even teaching the game, I'm just handing them my guidebook, my rule book, and seeing if they can actually get through the game. That's another one that's really intimidating to give like a random person I've met at a gaming meetup. But again, the guys here at Gen Con are the best of the best of the best, and they got excited and jumped at the challenge.
Yeah, so it sounds like from a developer perspective, right? It's worth it in the sense of like, yes, I'm getting so much feedback. I can say I want this number of people, these types of people, and then and then they can let me see where it might, where there might be a problem in the game design. So that's worth it. Now let me ask you, from a financial standpoint, is it worth it? To know that, and like the time it takes to be here, and to get slots and everything?
I think so, actually, a lot. There's also, keep in mind, the whole Gen Con experience, because with this, I'm not going to completely go crazy in first exposure here, but the fact that I'm getting the whole 4-day pass through this as well. So I'm getting 8 hours of playtesting, and I'm getting full access to this whole con where I get to meet people, I get to hang out with guys like you, I get to meet other developers, I get to meet publishers, I get to wander around and get this experience. The amount of information I'm getting from artists, developers, other gamers, getting to see what other trends are working. The Gen Con experience is 100% worth it.
Great pieces of information, the last summit, how everyone viewing, how can they get a hold of you or, learn more about what's going on?
Cool. The best way to get a hold of me is my Instagram. That's the thing I keep up to date. You'll see what events I'm doing and how the game is going along. It's Quill_gaming on Instagram. You can also find the website at quillgaming.com.
Excellent. All right. Well, we appreciate the time.
Thank you for talking to me. That was awesome.
Yeah. John, thanks for talking to us. We loved hearing about your game and your journey, your thoughts, and everything like that. And if you're a designer, just like Kenny said at the top, I highly recommend it, or we highly recommend it. You'll learn a lot. You'll get a lot out of it. I know we did.
And if you're enjoying our content, please like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to watch our other Gen Con videos, check out the links in our description below.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny. And go party like a board gamer.